What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another episode here of Just Jets. Excited to get into this episode. Feeling a little bit better today than I was on Sunday or Monday. Beginning of the week was really tough. Did not handle that loss very well. Neither did you at home, based on the voicemails that we'll get into later. The title is "How do you fix this?" And I don't know how they fix this, or now what. I also have on the running order on the side of me right here. I have no idea, spoiler alert, how to fix this, but we're just going to talk through it and we'll get into your voicemails. Want to remind you guys, this Sunday I'll be at the Beach Gallery in Keansburg, New Jersey, watching Jets Pats, a beautiful venue. It was a great time there in week 2. A lot of people came out, so if you came out the first time, make sure to come out again. We had a great time together. If you missed it the first time, now's your chance to come. Overlooks the water, beautiful venue, and hopefully we see a win, something they haven't done since the New England game in week 3. And guess what? They're playing New England again. Can they beat them twice? Can they sweep the New England Patriots? I think it's going to be tougher this go-around with Drake May at quarterback and the Jets absolutely reeling right now. And that's a good segue into the how do you fix this? And honestly, I don't know. And that's not good to come on here for the podcast segment. And it's titled, How do you fix this? And I'm not going to come on with answers. It's more really just about everything that's wrong with this team. Like, they're not good enough. And there's talent. I'm not going to deny that there's talent on this team, but they are all underachieving, including the quarterback, who made a massive mistake in this game. First interception is what really was the turning point of this game on Sunday Night Football on the road in Pittsburgh, which we know is a tough place to play. We know Mike Tomlin's a really good coach, and the Steelers find ways to lose, and that's exactly what happened. Steelers found a way to win, or did I say that backwards? I might have. Steelers found a way to win, Jets find a way to lose. Really, again, it was a frustrating one. And now you dropped 4 games in a row. You're sitting at 2-5, and good luck climbing out of that hole. You got to go to clinch a winning record. You have to go 7-3 down the stretch. 7-3. Based on what we've seen from this team, I don't know how anyone in their right mind, outside of just pure hope, can say that this is a team that can go 7-3. Based on what would be my question to you? And it's going to be, the talent. Well, okay, they haven't put that together with the quarterback. Too inconsistent. There's been some nice moments, but there's also been some big mistakes. That's cost them. The offensive line play hasn't been good enough, although I got to give credit to Morgan Moses. He was really, really good against TJ Watt. They kept TJ Watt pretty much out of the game. Ironically, the biggest issue was with their offensive lineman that's going to be a Hall of Famer one day. Tyron Smith is washed. That's it. It's over, I think, because I don't know how else you could explain this. He played at a really high level last year in Dallas, and then came in and has been a penalty machine. He gives up sacks every week. He's not good on the ground game. He doesn't move well. I give a lot of credit to John Simpson, Joe Tippmann, Morgan Moses in this game. Elijah Vera Tucker gets banged up, but he was okay. Really, their big anchor right now is at left tackle. And that's been the problem for this team for most of the last 10 years, most of this playoff drought, was because they don't have an answer at left tackle or quarterback for most of this, right? And that goes to the general manager, and Joe Douglas hasn't been able to figure out either one of those positions. I'm watching Tristan Wirfs last night, who got penalized on a holding call for the first time in almost 2 years, which is insane. But that's the guy that Joe Douglas passed on and was a head scratcher at the time. And, Mekhi had a good rookie season. And I thought, maybe this could be someone who can be a functional left tackle. And then that's clearly not the case, as he's not here anymore. He moves over to guard in Philadelphia and he gets hurt again. So I don't know what the next move here is. I don't know how they get out of this funk. That's the only word that I could use to describe this team, is they're just stuck in this inescapable funk. And I don't know how they snap out of this. Breece Hall was good in the receiving game, hasn't looked as good as what we were expecting as a rusher. Garrett Wilson made a massive mistake in the game as the ball bounces off his chest. He hasn't looked as good as what we were hoping. Devontae Adams came in and didn't give the exact immediate impact we were hoping for. Mike Williams has been a disappointment on the defensive side of the ball. It's been a quiet go for Quinnen Williams, who I thought actually played better in the first half of this game than he has looked at other times this year. Javon Kinlaw has been an absolute swing and a miss. Will McDonald, shout out Will McDonald. He gets a sack every single week and was beating the crap out of Broderick Jones, which was nice, but that's your only moral victory from this one. Oh, the Steelers jumped the Jets for Broderick Jones. How's that working out for you? I don't want that to be the win. I'd rather the win be an actual effing win this week because that's what they needed. They needed a way to find themselves to 3-4 and a chance to get to 500 against the New England Patriots. And now instead, you have to fight and scratch and claw and probably win your next 4 games to get yourself over 500 and get to 6-5 for you to have a chance. And I don't know, based on how they've played, that they can do it. I have zero faith, in fact, that they could do it. Secondary starting to get beat up. DJ Reed didn't play. Michael Carter's out. You lost your Chuck Clark at safety for a bit here. He's on IR. I will say I want to give some credit to Jalen Mills. I thought he was put in a tough spot this week, and he looked good, like an improvement in the run game, willing to come down and make plays towards the line of scrimmage. His team doesn't tackle well. They don't have a good effort on a week-to-week basis, and I don't know how you fix this, because if things continue to trend the way that they're going, more than likely the Jets don't finish with a record above 500 because they have to go, again, 7-3 to do that. And if that's the case, then you could bet your bottom dollar that Joe Douglas and Jeff Ulbrich will no longer be here. So that means another general manager search. That means another coaching search and maybe a quarterback search. And that's not what I wanted to be talking about this year on October freaking 22nd of recording this. I didn't want through 7 games. I wanted to be talking about a team that's like 5-2 and looks really good and, is competing at the top of the division and fighting for playoff seeding. They just feel so far away from that. They can't even do the little things right to where they could be a competitive team. I'm not even talking about a playoff team, but a competitive team. They are just so uncompetitive during this stretch. And it really has the fan base soured. Like, I don't think I've seen Jets fans down this bad in a really, really long time. And again, I'm going to repeat myself, but I don't know how you go about fixing this. And yeah, I think the owner is to play in this. His meddling doesn't do anyone any good. At the same time, Joe Douglas, I think, has left a lot to be desired in some ways. Yes, there's talent on the team, but again, it's year 6 for him. He's 29. What is it, 29-61? How many opportunities do you get? Do you get year 7 if you miss the playoffs and have 6 losing seasons? I don't know how that's humanly possible. And then who's going to want to come here? Who's going to want to take this job? I'm just really down right now, and I don't know how the Jets go about fixing this team. But vibes are bad. And now what is a waiting game? Because we don't know. We don't know. There is not a good answer here, unfortunately. So with that, I say let's get into the voicemails. We have a ton of voicemails to get into. We'll get us started with Riley calling in from New York.
Hey, Matt. Riley from New York. I just watched the game with the Steelers, unfortunately. The second half of the game was just pretty much speechless. I don't get how this team can consistently underperform and to the level that they do. To put that into perspective, the last time that the Jets made the playoffs, I wasn't even in school yet, and I graduated last year.
God almighty.
The only question really that I have is just, where do you think the Jets go from here? And where do you think they will go from here? Do they make staff changes? Is Joe Douglas gone? Do they draft a quarterback and try to sign an established veteran? I don't know. I don't know what happens next. The season's likely done. I hope that they can turn it around, but the future looks bleak. Anyways, I love the show, man. I'm off to bed.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. What a freaking frustrating one, huh? You weren't in school the last time the Jets made the playoffs. That made me feel 1,000 years old. I remember that 09 and 10 playoff run very, very well. That was the highlight, and I didn't think at the time it would be the highlight of my Jet fandom. I thought they had legitimate Super Bowl hopes in 2020 and in 2010, for damn sure not in 2020, 2010 and 2011. And it went out really, really quickly after that. I would think that there would be massive changes. If this trend continues to go this way, there are going to be big time changes to this team, to who is making the decisions, to who's coaching the team. And I just really freaking hope it works, because Jet fans don't deserve to continue to go through this. Peter from the beautiful Hudson Valley is also here, and he's upset.
Hey, Matt. It's Peter from up in the beautiful Hudson Valley, calling in after this shit performance by the Jets in Pittsburgh. If you can hear it a little bit in my voice, I'm already under the weather.
Sorry about that.
Today. Probably won't for the next several days, and that'll be just great to absorb this effing game. The Jets gave up 31 straight points to the Steelers. So they can't stop anything. They're now 2-5. The secondary is decimated, short of Sauce Gardner. And I don't know what they can do to turn it around. Reddick reporting on Monday is like, is dropping a bucket at this point.
Yeah, great.
Try and help this team out. I mean, Devontae Adams didn't get a lot of catches, but he did open up the field for Garrett Wilson, which was helpful. But Garrett Wilson's kind of catching passes and not having to deflect off of him and get intercepted. I'm sure you're in the same boat as myself and many others who are probably going to be calling in this week.
Yep.
Disappointed, frustrated, fed up, and looks like we're going to be missing the playoffs again this year. This is ridiculous. I don't know what they can do to turn it around at this point, but it doesn't look like they can do much to turn it around. I'm hopeful, but I don't know if I'm going to watch too many more games. In fact, I spent $8 to have Peacock for a month to watch that, and I think the Jets owe me that $8 back, considering this damn performance.
Someone get his Venmo.
Thanks, Matt. Have a good one. Go Jets.
We got Woody Johnson deserves to send $8 to our guy Peter from the beautiful Hudson Valley for paying for Peacock so he could watch that game. Gross. Just disgusting. Absolutely pitiful, gross, disgusting game. And with Reddick, you mentioned that is like too little too late. Who cares? Garrett Wilson has a ball go off his chest. 31 straight points. What else can you say? After a performance like that, how do you now go, oh, well, they're playing the Pats. They're going to win and start going on a run here. Maybe they win this game. Maybe. They're somehow 7-point favorites in this game. On the road in New England. They've lost 4 in a row. Okay. Okay, I guess. Let's go Caden Smith up next.
Hey, Matt. Caden Smith calling from upstate New York again. About, 30 minutes after that disaster of a freaking NFL game. I don't even know how we can be considered an NFL team at this point. It's just freaking embarrassing that week after freaking week. I mean, the first half was looking promising for a bit. I mean, the offense, had its ups and downs, but was moving the ball. Brees looked fantastic. We were up 15-6, and then it all turned right there after that Rodgers interception. And good teams, when they make a mistake, they bounce back. You see the Chiefs make a mistake, they bounce back. Mahomes threw a couple interceptions today, they still end up winning. It's what good teams do. And somehow with the most talented roster we've had in years, we're not a good team. I don't know what to say anymore. I'm flabbergasted every week. Like, it just, it doesn't make sense, Matt. It shouldn't be this way. We should be winning. We should be the opposite of what we are. We should be 5-2. And yet we somehow keep finding a way to let these wins just slip through our fingertips, and it's disgusting. I just don't know what to say. I mean, Reddick and Adams aren't going to change anything. I really don't know what to say, though, because this team is so damn talented. Where do you go wrong? Like, there was a couple penalties tonight, but that really wasn't a problem. But, I mean, at this point, something needs to happen differently. I don't know what you do if you skid players. I mean, the injuries didn't help, but just the execution of this offense. Just for some reason, and the defense, and you can't blame them because they're so injured, but they got pounded like a drum at the end, and then
They did.
Harris getting that touchdown right at the end just rubs salt in the wounds. But at this point, I mean, you'll probably beat New England because anyone can, but then Houston's right up after that. There's really zero chance at this point we make it fire. It's going to take a miracle, so you got to look ahead to draft season. And at this point, I mean, we don't know how things are going to shake out, and the quarterback class this year sucks, but, I mean, either take a really great defensive player, maybe like, I don't know, Malachi Starks, safety from Georgia, or trade down, take a quarterback, and let him sit for a couple of years under Rodgers. Because, I mean, yeah, even though Rodgers has not been good this year, he's still playing better than Zach has ever, and he's still so incredible in terms of his knowledge. So, gotta try to get someone in there, train him, but I just don't know what to say. And also, Greg Zuerlein, I mean, he can't help that his kicks are blocked, but still, something needs to change, man. It's freaking unacceptable, man. I don't know how much longer I can take. I don't want to be expressionless when my team does something bad, like good, because I just don't know what to say now.
We're numb. That's how it feels. We're numb. I sat for the final hour of that game just with no expression, not upset, just sat in silence. It wasn't supposed to be like that. I don't know. I wish I had answers. I wish that I could come on and say the Jets need to do this, this, and this, and then they'll get right. Fired Saleh, brought in Devontae Adams, added Hassan Reddick. I don't think it matters. I don't think they're going on this miracle run, guys. No name on this next one. Talking Ulbrich, no different.
Hey, what's up, Matt? Calling in Monday morning. Another terrible loss. Just a couple things. Doesn't really seem like the team is any different with Ulbrich at head coach, and that's nothing against him. I mean, yesterday you can say we were less penalized, but I mean, just the ready-to-play factor. It's just like, I don't know. We played a good first half, and then it's like, all right, since we did that, we can't play a good second half. It's the self-implosion that is just so terrible. But another thing I want to point out, honestly, I know Rodgers is great. I know that he's a big part of, like, why we're in a lot of these games, but he's been very, like, not clutch. You know, the past 2 weeks, whichever way you put it, past 3 weeks, he had those 2 game-winning drives, intercepted on both of those. And then this one, you know, it was a drive right before the half. We could take a huge lead. And he's forcing that ball to Garrett, and I get it, but he threw it kind of behind him, and then it gets picked. And then look at it. The whole game was paired from him. That moved so much momentum. Just ridiculous. Also, I have no idea why Sauce doesn't travel with Jordan Pickens the entire game. That's
Stupid.
Like their clear-cut number one guy. It's just so ridiculous. But a couple positives. I was going to say Jalen Mills, out of nowhere, he looked pretty good against the run. You know, against the pass full time. He actually looked like a bright spot. Might need that since we lost 75 DBs yesterday. But yeah, man, I don't even know. I honestly think the season's over. As a Jets fan, you know, I've never ever turned a game off early. I've always watched till the end. But last night, I actually turned it off with about 6 minutes left. I couldn't do it anymore. But we'll see what happens. I honestly don't even know. Like, I mean, is there still a chance? Yes, but it's just pathetic, man. You can't have anything nice ever, I swear. But go Jets. Hopefully we beat. If we don't beat the Patriots, I'm gonna freak out. But hopefully we beat the Patriots, and I can, kickstart something. But go Jets, man.
Yeah. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. I don't blame you for turning it off. I don't. I don't blame anyone for turning it off. I don't blame anyone, especially the season ticket holders who aren't going to renew. I mean, I feel so badly for those season ticket holders who get treated like absolute utter garbage year after year after year. You know what went out this week? The invoice for season tickets in 2025. That's what went out this week. Prices go up every year during a 14-year playoff drought. You get a yearbook and a coupon for a bottle of wine. You can't help but laugh. To keep you from crying, sometimes you just got to laugh. Vic from Florida.
Yo, Matt. Vic from Florida. Another Monday morning, man. That was tough. Again, Rodgers hit the nail on the head earlier in the season when he said, how is this team going to handle success? We can't, period. That's the answer. We do not know how to handle success. That was tough to watch. I mean, what a turn of events. Here I am thinking we're going to score, go ahead, get the ball back and do what other teams have done to us for the last X amount of years, There's one thing I wanted to bring up about Garrett Wilson, and I've noticed this. I've talked to my some friends and my father about this last night during the game. These younger cats, they don't know how to handle any adversity, and I don't know what the generation is. And like I said, I've coached at the high school level. Was an intern down at the U under Mark Rick back in around 2017-18, and not the guys at the U, but these younger cats in this generation, they do not know how to handle any adversity. You bring in Devontae Adams, somebody who went on record saying that he was going to help Garrett Wilson get a gold jacket, and Garrett did not look himself at all from the jump. Yeah, he had a couple nice plays. So what? Sure, he's our first-round draft pick. He should have a couple nice plays. But you could tell something was off with him. Like, okay, Devontae's in. I'm not going to get the ball. Boo-hoo. Like, man. And then he went on record saying, no, it's all good. Right on. I don't know. I mean, yeah, am I hard on him right now because he dropped that pass? Absolutely. You cannot be our go-to guy or think you are our go-to guy and drop a pass like that. That leads to an interception. That leads to the game being lost, right? I'm not going to point the blame at Garrett Wilson the whole time. Rodgers made some questionable throws. Our offensive line was putrid. ABT's hurt again. I mean, this is tough to watch, man. This is it. We're 2-5. It ain't early anymore.
Nope.
I don't really know. I mean, again, another example. Look at Mike Williams, for example. Last week had the horrible catch, comes back, makes a great catch to extend the drive. That's just he's an older vet. He knows his role, right? And he plays to the best of his ability. Garrett Wilson did not play to the best of his ability last night. Neither did our offensive line, and then of course our defense kind of crumbled when we needed it not to. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm sure Sunday morning I'll be jacked up, ready to beat the hell out of the Patriots. Jets, Jets.
Why do we keep doing
the suffering? See ya.
Sorry to cut you off at the end. I thought you were done. I was just going to say, why do we keep doing this to ourselves? Because I know I'm going to be in the same boat. Of course. I'm so down right now. I haven't been this down on the Jets in a really, really, really long time. But we'll be there Sunday, 1 o'clock. I'll be at the beach gallery doing my pregame live stream with Connor Long, 11 a.m. Be watching the game with a bunch of other diehard Jet fans, doing a post-game show, and then driving back home for this team because we're sick. We're sick in the head. Garrett Wilson did not look himself. That absolutely inexcusable for a ball to go off your chest, be intercepted, and return to the 1-yard line. Crazy. Dante, South Carolina. Really short message here, but I thought it was important to play because it's true.
Hey, Matt. Dante from South Carolina. We absolutely suck.
Sometimes you only need so few words to get your point across. We're going to go out to Israel next on this one. The guy's not happy with me here.
Hey, Matt. A couple weeks ago, right after the Sal firing, I called in and I was talking about how the season is probably over and how the ceiling is probably 9-8, but they're probably not winning more than 7 or 8 games. And you bashed me. You bashed a lot of Jet fans. We all came on and said the same thing. And you said, no, the season's not over. We have over it. We have this, Rogers, that. We might get Devontae. We might get this. Matt, this team sucks. This team is absolutely terrible. Terrible. I don't even know what I watch against the Steelers. I live in Israel. I wake up every single Jet game. Doesn't matter if it's the 1 o'clock game Eastern, which means it's 8 o'clock by me, or Sunday night football, Monday night football. That means I'm waking up at 3 a.m. to watch these games. I did it. I've watched every single Jet game since 2015 from Israel. Like I said, waking up at 8, waking up at 3 a.m., whatever it is, always there. And this is just a shit show. This is absolutely terrible. I'm done. I'm done. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't even know who would want this job next year as a head coach, as a GM. Like, who are you hiring? You think Ben Johnson wants to come here? Even if you go and pay him, we're going to pay you $20 million. You think he wants to come here?
No.
There's no shot for anyone to win here. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Bill Belichick. You're just not going to win here because the owner sucks. The organization sucks. It's just really bad. And you know it, like, I don't know, man.
Thank you for calling in. I believe if memory serves correct, I thought the point you were making last time was that the firing was a give up move. And I did not agree with that. I thought that it was trying to spark their team. It clearly has not sparked them as they are 0-2 in that time. But I still don't look at that as a give up move. And they very well could end up with 7 or 8 wins anyway. But I didn't view the Robert Saleh firing as them folding up shop. And I still don't. They didn't fold up shop when they traded up, for Devontae Adams a week later. It didn't work. Hassan Reddick's coming in. I don't think it's going to work either. It's just frustrating. I get it. The fans are frustrated. We'll keep it rolling. Let's go to Henry in Maryland. He's got some venting to do.
Good morning, Mr. O'Leary. This is grumpy, irritable Henry from Maryland calling.
How are you, sir?
I have a new name for our New York Jets. The Island of Misfit Toys. It's like the Statue of Liberty. Give us you're tired, you're injured, you're weary, you're senile. They're casualties that can't stay healthy. We'll pay them for 2 years, and we'll go to the Super Bowl. And then we'll just flip the contract and do it again next year. Team is bad, man. I'm a fan since like 1967. Watched on my mother's and father's bed as the New York Jets beat the Baltimore Colts in the Super Bowl. And it's bad. One thing will fix this team, Matt. It's not the coach. It's not the GM. The owner's not going to let them fix it. The only thing that's going to fix it is empty seats at the stadium. Oh, let me change that. Empty, unpaid for seats at the stadium. Then, maybe then, Woody will move the team to London or sell it, and the NFL will be kind enough to give us a new franchise. And maybe we can build a stadium in Wantagh or further out on Long Island.
There we go.
Matt, love what you and your fellow content creators do. I don't know if I can watch you guys anymore. I just get sick of the content matter. Not you guys. It's the frickin' subject matter. Matt, I think you need to, from the beautiful Hudson Valley, to make your day bright.
Didn't work,
not
man.
bringing it. Have a great week. See ya. Bye.
Thank you, Henry. Yeah, Peter was down too. We are all down right now. I don't disagree with the unpaid for seats. It's just unfortunately, I don't think is something that they're going to actually be able to accomplish. They'll always be able to sell out that building because we're sick. We keep doing it to ourselves, and I don't think anything changes until ownership changes. I don't disagree with you on that. Jason, Alabama.
What's up, Matt? This is Jace from Alabama. What's up with the Jets having, I don't know, 1 to 2 drives a game where it's like we are world beaters, we can move the ball, everything's in harmony, and then the very next series, it's like we're sending Zach Wilson back out there and we can't even get out of our own way. I don't know. It makes no sense to me. There's just always 1 or 2 outlier drives a game where we look like real contenders, and then we follow it up with just whatever you want to call it.
Yep. They have a couple of okay drives, and that was just that. They had the big play. Breece Hall gets them inside the 5. Play action fast. Tyler Conklin. They get a penalty and the ball on the 1 yard line for the 2-point conversion. That works. They're moving the ball. Things are looking good. Todd Downing was looking good. And then it just all goes right back to the same thing that we have unfortunately watched and it was all too familiar. All too familiar for us. We've seen that story before. It's truly unreal. Travis from Ohio. Can he save me?
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Travis. Nope.
Travis from Ohio. Wow. I'm so glad I didn't pay money to go to that game. And I had all kinds of offers. Pittsburgh's only about 55 minutes away. Damn, I would have thrown things, got thrown out, thrown in jail. It would have been bad.
I don't want you in jail, Travis.
As soon as Rodgers threw that first pick, you could see the entire team deflate. And I had that feeling that I constantly have as a Jets fan for over 35 years that, they ain't coming back from this. And they didn't. They didn't score another point after that. I don't know. Over the years, I've been the biggest JD apologist and supporter. I still think he's about the only grown-up in the facility. But at this point, scrap the whole thing. I don't care. What? Would it be any worse than 2-4 or 5 right now?
Probably not.
It's horrible. So, I don't know. What do you do? Put Vrabel in there to change the whole culture, I guess. Belichick's not going to go there.
Nope.
We need an offensive mind. Obviously, like I said, we haven't developed an offense since Namath. We've signed some mercenaries like Testaverde and Favre, Fitzpatrick, and
McCown, yeah.
Now Rodgers, who seems washed. Hey, and guess what, Rodgers, I love you, but put this chip on your shoulder and prove me wrong, because everybody's saying it now, and you ain't doing shit about it, where in the past you used to. So, calling out Aaron Rodgers, and I love the guy, always have. But yeah, put that chip on, stack those chips on your shoulder. Go out and win some freaking games. Oh, it's just so depressing. I don't see us coming back from this. I don't. I mean, I'll still watch. I'll still criticize, cheer. I'm not going to root against them. I've been doing this for, like I said, almost 40 years. I'm sorry, there wasn't even a question in there.
It's okay. It was a vent.
Venting. I'm sorry.
You're good, Travis. I love the vent sessions. We need the vent sessions. I'm glad you didn't go and spend your money on that product. It was not good. It was not ideal. And the Jets have tried going the rookie route. They've tried going the veteran route, and they cannot figure it out. We've seen other teams do it and have success. The Texans had a rookie head coach and took a rookie quarterback second overall. They're a playoff team last year. They look good this year. We saw the Rams, the Bucks, the Broncos bring in veteran quarterbacks like Peyton Manning, Matthew Stafford, Tom Brady, and win championships and have success. And the Jets can't do that either. What's the play? What's left? Don't know. But it's not working. Shane from New Jersey, he hasn't called in a little bit, but he is back.
What's going on, Mr. Matt O'Leary? Shane from Jersey giving you a call. First one in a while. General, frustration call here. I've been hearing one thing a lot of listening to a guy like Jake Assman, and he's on with Joe Beningo a lot. A big line he has is you could change, the Jets coach, owner, quarterback, same old Jets. And to a point, he's right. Keeps changing it. We still suck. So there's something, but there's one constant. There's one constant in the same old Jets, and that's Woody Johnson, my absolute least favorite person in the world. Woody Johnson is a terrible, terrible person. I wish nothing but bad things upon him. And it's a shame because I bet you he has the nicest family and kids and whatever he's got. But he is the worst person in the world. I don't know if you watch The Office.
Of course.
There's a line in The Office where he said if he had a gun with he was in a room with Hitler, Bin Laden, and Toby, one of the workers in the office, he'd shoot Toby twice with 2 bullets. That's what I would do with Woody Johnson in the same situation.
Come on now.
This guy, Woody Johnson, ruins our season every single year. There's no direction in the team whatsoever. There's never direction. They have no clue what's going on with Rodgers now. He just sucks, and he is the reason we suck and we always suck. I mean, you could change everything. We've done the jerseys over and over, the quarterbacks, the coaches. Woody Johnson is still there. Woody Johnson is the bane of my existence. I feel like we should get everyone together and plan a walkout and not go to games or something to get this guy to sell the team. He sucks. As long as he's there, we'll never be good. Obviously, we're going to tune in week after week because we have to, but
yep.
I think he's the reason why we're not good and we never will be. But I don't know, because yet again, there was no fire last night. They're talking about there was no fire. Rodgers looks okay. Everything's going to crap. Ulbrich doesn't look great. And this is the best roster we've had in years. I'm 25. This is easily the best roster since the 2009-2010 swing we had. And, my God, we still look atrocious. Last year with a worse roster and Zach Wilson, we were off to a better start, 4-2 or something like that. But I don't know, man. This is just a general frustration and an F. Woody Johnson call. Man, that just really fired me up my drive. But, yeah, thanks, man. As always, thanks for the therapy session. I'll catch you later.
You're welcome. We need it, man. We all need it. I'm not a big Woody Johnson guy either, so I understand your frustration, and it's true. He's been the only constant during this stretch, and I know there's 4 years away from the team, but the Johnson family has owned this team since 2000. They had initial success. I think a lot of that built on the backs of an established identity and draft from the 2000 team and the Bill Parcells era. And then things slowly got out of hand in the 2010s, and they have not been able to figure out for 15 years. 15 years. It's almost impossible to go that long without a playoff appearance, even by accident. And they've had one winning season in that span. And we keep watching, we keep buying merch, we keep buying jerseys and tickets and talking about this team and putting money in their pockets. PG from Long Island, let's close this out.
Hello, Matt O'Leary. PG from Long Island here. Thank you for taking my call. Really enjoyed your post-Pittsburgh rant on YouTube.
Thank you.
And I'm going to start by taking the optimistic Jets fan point of view.
Okay.
Something that this Jets fan you talked about. And tell you that we're 2-5. Packers came back from that last year, made the playoffs. We have a very talented roster, and we have a very weak schedule ahead of us. But the realistic Jets fan in me is going to talk about how that talented roster is just not playing up to speed.
Yep.
If you look at the PFF grades that they showed on the broadcast, Jets only had 3 guys in the top 10, and that was Pittman, the new guard Simpson, and Vera Tucker. all their stars, Rodgers, Wilson, Quinton Williams, and even Sauce Gardner, all in the 20s, 30s or higher. More to the point is the fact that, as you pointed out, after the Rodgers interception, I mean, they were in control of the game really up until that point, Rodgers interception, and that the team just pretty much rolled over and died. No fight, no energy. It was horrible. They just 31 unanswered points, the whole story. But, the team has no heart. They're very talented, but they suck.
They do suck.
They suck. And so I see one or two things coming up this year. One, they take advantage of that week schedule ahead of them. Rodgers puts it together a little bit, and they go on a run and they win and make the playoffs. Number two, more likely, is they just, continue to suck, and Woody Johnson blows it up at the end of this year. GM gone, coach is gone, start from scratch, play it back. Anyway, it's a bad situation, but one thing we have to do, first of 10 games, is go in and beat the pitiful New England Patriots. Anyway, as always, Matt O'Leary, go Jets.
PG, thank you. I appreciate the optimistic side you gave at the beginning, even if that's not what you believe. I hope that's what happens. I want this team to prove me wrong so desperately. I'm so down on them. I don't even know if they're going to win this game against New England, but I hope they do. And then I hope they rattle off 10 more. That's got to be the goal for this team, but they got to get it in gear now. There's no excuses anymore. And I don't want to be doing another show next week where we take 12 voicemails and everyone's upset again. And I'm not blaming the people calling in. I'm not. It's on the team. It's on this team to get better, from the coaches, the general manager, and the players. Guys, that'll do it. Thank you for sticking with me on this vent. Now what? We still don't know, but we will continue to tune in because that's what we always do. I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll catch you next time.